Hi, so I had the urge to make a video. So this is what it is. It's a video. Hi, again. But I didn't quite have the same urge to brush my hair. So now we are just stuck with the awkward problem of a video without brushed hair. So, hopefully it's not too terrible and doesn't distract your attention too much, but I guess I'm not really one to, put much energy into my appearance, as you probably have guessed. Do you like my t-shirt? It says I'm kind of a big deal. I'm really not, but my dad thinks I am, and it was a Christmas present, and that's embarrassing. Moving on. So on my last video, I got a request to upload a story for my part 2 about combating social anxiety, to upload a video that is about a little bit about my journey and what I've been through with social anxiety, so I thought that was a really good idea. I was a little bit hesitant about posting my story earlier because while I might make reference to it in some of my videos, I'm very concerned, like I don't want this to be about me. But if you guys do want to hear my story, and if you think that my story is going to help you out, then by all means tell me, because like I said, I would not have thought that. So thank you for that comment. So this is what I'm going to do for you today. I'm going to upload a video about my story with social anxiety. So I've been socially anxious, diagnosed about, I think 5 years, maybe a little bit less. I think 5 years. But I've been struggling with the symptoms for a lot longer than that. I feel like I've had social anxiety my entire life and it just never really got addressed. And then manifested in all kinds of twisted and messed up ways, as anxiety often does. That was awkward. So that's definitely happened for me. I've always felt like it's been a part of me, but I never quite knew how to address it. It wasn't until recently that I started therapy for it. Well, recently, been a couple of years now, but I have started, well, I've been in therapy for a long time, but I am getting treated for it now, which is quite a small amount of time in comparison to how long I've had it for, which would be 16 years. So, basically, social anxiety for me, mine was quite unique. Considering social anxiety is a lot about, having that judgment and stuff, people are always usually, there's always a big issue about public speaking with those people. Like, people don't want to speak in public, they don't want to be on stage, they don't want to have the spotlight on them. I'm kind of the opposite to that. I'm an actress, you guys know that from my last few videos. I love to act, I love to sing. I used to dance, I like to dance, I'm not that good at it anymore, but I used to love it. And so, I've been on stage my entire life, for as long as I can remember, and it's come to the point now where that's the only place where I can safely say, I'm safe. This is where I want to be, this is what I want to do, is on stage, that's what comes to mind. So I guess there are elements of my social anxiety which are quite different in that respect, because even though on stage is a place where judgment, you're most open to judgment, I just feel like I'm not restrained. Up there, I feel like I'm my own complete person, and I really, really love that feeling. It's such an amazing feeling, and I just don't feel like I can get it anywhere else. But in terms of the everyday life, my social anxiety definitely springs out of that fear of being rejected and this paranoia that people are out to get me. And so, I felt like I couldn't communicate properly with people without having to project this false persona. And I did that for a long time. I kind of invented a character for myself, if you would. Who even had different mannerisms and different vocal patterns and a different story. And I felt the only way I could be comfortable in a social situation was through that persona. I went through such extensive work to get rid of that persona, to break that habit of having to step into that to be social in order to be comfortable, to be social, you know what I mean? And being able to communicate meant for me that I had to be that character. So I went through a year of very strenuous therapy that was very, very difficult and demanding on me to be able to break that persona. And I have now. You know, sometimes I still have the urge to go back there, but I'm very confident that I never will, because I know how much of my own depression was caught up in that, in having that. And then when people, you know, start to discover, hang on, that's not the real Georgia, I didn't cope with it very well. So now I've learned from that, and I've built my actual self. I've spent a lot of time trying to work on my actual self and be comfortable with who I am, so that, you know, talking in social situations can happen without that need for that persona. So yeah, so now this is me in all my forms, and now, after realizing that, you know, you can still be a person, you can still be an amazing person, not just a person, you can still be a great, great person while people, if people don't like you. I mean, often the best people are the ones who have had the most criticism, right? Are the people who receive the most hate and the most rejection from people. And so I feel like, you know, you're stuck with this constant battle of, do I want to be accepted or do I want to be great? And I guess that I'm in the middle of these two extremes at the moment, and it's kind of a good place to sit, because before I wanted to be accepted more than anything. So, I am still dealing with social anxiety. I still have quite frequent panic attacks. I used to have panic attacks all the time. I still do. I've had them for years. Let me tell you that having a panic attack is the worst experience anyone could ever have in their life. And well, that's not true, but it's an awful experience, and I would not wish it on anyone. It literally feels like, it just feels like you're having a heart attack, basically. I mean, your heart's pounding so fast and you're struggling so much to breathe that I've had panic attacks where I've just gone in my head like, I'm not going to make it out of this. And that's a terrible feeling. And the fact that it happens on such a frequent basis, and we kind of, you know, once you hit that stage of panic, you know, there's no coming out of it, it's kind of scary. But that doesn't mean you can't deal with panic, because you definitely can. It's about addressing it before it gets to the point where it's crazy and there's nothing you can do anymore. You need to work out, you know, what are the little things that give it away before it reaches that high point. So I've done that. I have done a half sort of meditation regime kind of thing, which, like, I've studied meditation, Buddhist meditation, not mindfulness. I don't like that stuff, but Buddhist meditation I've studied, and I do like to do that before I go to sleep, sometimes in the morning if I get time, and it definitely does clear the mind and it helps. But yeah, my journey, I feel like social anxiety has kind of defined who I am, and it took a lot for me to be able to redefine myself, you know, no longer having to communicate as someone else, but being able to communicate as Georgia, and, you know, understanding that if people didn't like Georgia, then that wasn't exactly, you know, something that you should allow yourself to get depressed over. Sure, it might hurt for a bit, but getting hurt for a bit and being upset for a bit isn't the same as depression. So sure, yeah, sure it's going to hurt a bit, and you're allowed to have that feeling of pain and that feeling of sadness, but, you know, you are the one who gives it the power to manifest into depression. I had to learn that lesson the hard way. So I have come to a point now where I can be me, and if someone says something bad about me, then with a lot of difficulty still, but I can just shrug it off, and I can resist from having to slip back into that persona, I guess, as it manifests into other things now, like I have panic more often, I guess. But I am dealing with it. And I do firmly believe that anxiety is a treatable problem. And I know it doesn't feel like it. I know you feel powerless, but I feel like it is a very treatable problem. You just need the right access to resources. That's what I found. My psychologist helped me a lot. It's, if you can find a good psych, or if you can dedicate yourself enough to one specific practice, whether it be mindfulness or meditation or breathing or something, find one specific practice and really buckle down on it, I feel like it can really help. It definitely helped me. Meditation has helped me out a lot, and so has reading and all those other things, acting, being on stage, doing those things which really zone me out, calm me down. They're what have made it now where there's a certain comfort with who I am. So thanks again for watching. This channel means so much to me, and it means a lot to me that you guys are watching and actually care. And I care about you guys too. So again, any concerns, any questions, let me know. I'm here to help anyone 24/7. And yeah, I guess that's it. Thanks. Bye.